I came from an abusive family. I ran from Wisconsin to Miami with a man old enough to be my father. I had a daughter, and the things that he was into caused me to lose custody of my daughter, full custody, because of the amount of drugs they found in the house. I eventually went to prison from Miami, Florida, and I had met a woman in prison, and she saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself then. And I went to Orlando to stay with her, and that only lasted 7 months because I soon found the ghetto and the crack cocaine again. And once again, I was back on my journey.
I was an addict for years and years and years at a time. I moved to Florida in like 1981. I knew her, I liked her, but I loved my drugs more. In March 2006, I had to come up to bury one of my older brothers, and we had a family intervention. My sister, who lives here in Connecticut, brought me to Bridgeport Rescue Mission. And that was a miracle. That's the miracle. Every so often, I get the opportunity to take a vacation, and I always go back to Florida. God does what he does. He wants us to reach back in and pull others out. And she's always been someone who was near and dear to my heart.
Looking at Dorian then and knowing him before, something in me broke. He had a peace and just a calm spirit about him. Me wanting something different and was going through so much turmoil within, calling out to God, not knowing what I was asking for, had been asking for a change. I had fell in love with him long before I knew what love was, and it took God to show me that I could have the same peace and the same joy that he had. The saddest part was when he was leaving on the 4th day to get ready to go back to Connecticut. I remember sitting in his car crying like a baby. I wanted that peace and that joy. And this is what he told me. He was like, we have to be equally yoked, Tanya. I'm not living that life no more. I remember telling him, look, if you can just get me up there and get me in a program, I'll do it. I didn't have no money. Then he was smart. He sent a prepaid bus ticket, and he sent me just enough money so if I wanted to eat, I wouldn't spend that money on no drugs. When I got here, I don't want to do a program, and he just gave it to me as honest as God put it up on his heart. We can't be together if you don't want better, Tanya. 4 days into the program, Miss Erin, she walked in the door. And that is the day I knew I was where I was supposed to be. And that whatever God had to take me through, that he was going to be right there with me. And that there were going to be people around me to help me. Because I had some deep hurts and I had a guard up. I looked at Miss Nancy the first time and I felt like, what can this woman possibly tell me about the life that I done lived? How can she help me? And she couldn't until the day I decided to go up in my room and surrender to God, to cry out for help. It was with the help of all the women that surrounded me with the love, the guidance, and God. Thinking that I couldn't do it, I mean, looking at them, I could do it. I'll tell anybody, through the grace of God, coming up under tutelage of Nancy DeMelli and all the teachers, that it changed my life. It gave me a life, because before then I had no life. I tell all the girls, don't take that year for granted. Utilize that year. Have a made up mind. Surrender your will and let God's will be done.
So you see why I love her though, right? God's given me a perfect woman. And she's got to be perfect because she didn't say no when asked her to marry me. She claimed me and God had it right in store, so I'm so glad of it. She's my sweetheart.
Better be.
That's all we put each other through. That's definite.